Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa Sullivan and I would love to share with you my insights on life, the universe, and everything, including autism, spirituality, the future of the world. So please stay tuned and watch this video to the end because I will share some amazing insights. Also, please check out my music on my channel. I am an improv pianist from early childhood, and this is one of the ways that I can connect with you, and I would love to share with you this feeling and peace that I have within myself through my music, because in that way we can connect with the peace and the love and just the feelings of being alive that are so universal, and sometimes how else to describe them other than music. This channel is focused on awakening, on light, on life, on Earth, on what it means to be alive, and also I will explain some things regarding autism, children, sensitivity, and many of the quote-unquote problems of today's world and why they exist and how to see them with love. My name is Melissa Sullivan, and now I will say a bit about myself. My mother is a psychologist, a behavioral psychologist. My father is a programmer. They met in a church, a Unitarian Universalist church. And the worst arguments growing up were always about religion, whether you should accept what other people believe or reject it and make sure that they know that your opinion might be better. These were common arguments between my mother and my father, and it was impressive that this was the most serious argument. Now, I play improv piano. This is one thing I do that I will also share with you on this channel, although not today, so please stay tuned or check out the other videos on my channel, which include some of my music, which is original, and I improvise it the moment I sit down. I do practice. I have been doing this since I was about 5 years old. I never successfully learned to read music, but I don't want to. What I really like is just to sit down, create it, what I feel like in the moment, what's on my soul, what's on my heart today. I play, and it's a connection with unity consciousness, with a kind of, say this is like higher world music, something like spiritual. For me, it's just natural. I just sit down and this is what I feel like, what I play. And my piano teacher was also an improv jazz pianist, really talented, and he was the man who played the music at my parents' wedding in a Unitarian Universalist church. And a whole year of Buddhism, and Hinduism, a whole year Islam, a whole year other religions that I've already forgotten about. And it was really amazing. Then later in my life, not that old, I was about 20, I started to break out of my past patterns, I guess you could say, wake up. And to be honest, that a lot of that felt like becoming connected with God, and really in that I also was really just connecting with who I was as a complete, unbroken, entity, being, spirit, soul, person, I guess. And I realized that in my whole life, I had been fighting against myself and my wholeness, and other people had been telling me things about myself that I realized were not true. I am whole, I am beautiful, and I am perfect in a sense, in my essence. And I realized the more I can live in that essence and be in that essence, then everything will be okay. And I had spent a good portion of my life from early childhood, probably when I started to forget who I was, until age 20, 21, when I faced serious illness and faced death at a young age. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I lost my best friend the year before, and I felt her death deeply, and I still feel it. I still cry a lot when I think of her, because it means a lot to me. And I found myself in her shoes, or in similar shoes, at that young age, and I realized if I died back then, everyone would be really, not everyone, but my parents at least would be really sad. Really, I mean, profoundly, because we all can barely comprehend that sadness of losing a child before yourself, your own life. And so I realized that that would be sad for them, but then I realized I was angry at them because they hadn't really seen me for who I was. They hadn't really seen me for the whole being, the whole complete entity that I am, essence. And I realized that dying would do that no justice, and that I had the right to change. I had the right to be free and to seek out what would bring me that which I craved, that sense of feeling comfortable in my own skin and feeling confident, just being healthy. And you can see my hair's already starting to turn gray. It runs in the family a bit. But I feel a lot better than I did even back 20. And I'm 32 now. So, but the interesting thing for you may be that on this channel we will talk about consciousness, about spirituality, and also about autism, because for me it's related to my awakening story, because my awakening story also is related to my story of forgetting who I am, and because you need to forget in order to remember, right? So I was diagnosed with autism as 6-ish, and my mother was a behavioral psychologist, so she was right on top of it. And a lot of people who are on the spectrum, they feel that this is a validation for them because there is a difference. There's something's real, and I resonate with the belief that we were born early. Although I do have many thoughts on this, so I will hope to see you back, that you will subscribe on my channel, and when I dive deeper into this, you will be able to listen. Because I have not heard almost anyone say the things that I know in my heart. I have not really heard them said in the way that I know them to be true. And by know, I mean know. I just know this because I'm connected with that knowing that's timeless, that's eternal. And for me, until the moment that this life ceases for me, I will not forget. I mean, maybe I'll forget a little bit, but it's there. It's here with me. It's not going anywhere. And so for me, life is really a matter of living on that edge where I carry all this experience, and no, not just this life, of course, other lives as well, but this one in which I came in and started being myself, and everyone was like, don't do that. And it's not just that, because I'll tell you, one of the main secrets about autism is that it's a new level of discernment that comes from modern times. Many people have already said that autism is related to heavy metals, to toxicity, but I'll tell you, as a person who has healed, in quote, healed from autism, I know that autism is not an illness that has to be healed. It's the environment in which we live and the honoring of the truth within ourselves that recognizes these things within our own bodies, within our consciousness, that we have the ability, every human being will one day on planet Earth have the ability to discern what is beneficial in this moment, what is not, what is man-made, what is not. These are things that we ought to already be able to discern because we are coming into contact with them all the time. Computers, chemicals, these are things we all come into contact with and will for the foreseeable future. And the only way for humanity to reach a point of complete direction, of complete hope, where good prevails on the earth, the only way to that is to have that level of discernment. And these children today born with autism, they have or they develop because it's part of their mission on the earth as they come in contact with the world as it is today, to develop these reactions and these discernment to which we call autism. And autism itself, when a person is stuck in it, it's no better, it's no morally cleaner, spiritually cleaner than anything else. It's still, for many people, still today, stuck in that lack of awareness about who they really are. It's no different for people with autism, most of the time. Because, unfortunately, in families, it's just that the untruth, the anti-truth is louder. It's louder, it's more visible. It's no more dissonant than it ever was. Maybe it is because there's just more dissonance, but it rings louder and it's more visible. And in my heart, that's a good thing. I have such compassion for people who I see who are suffering from what we call autism. But here's the thing, it's not that they're suffering from autism. They are suffering. They're suffering, but it's from the disharmony between what their soul yearns for and what exists around them. And it's not any one person's responsibility to change this. It's all of our responsibility. And I will flip that around on its head. It's not that we should wait for anyone else to change it. We can all start with ourselves. By taking responsibility ourselves to change our own being, aura, environment, energy field, reality, then we are really living. That is really life as its opportunity. It provides opportunities. This life is amazing to give us opportunity to perfect, not because we are not perfect or the world that was already created in its beauty and that beauty itself is not perfect. It's because possibilities are limitless, and through our experience as unified with our senses, as unified with this world that we're living in, we can, through what we experience, through what we feel, through what brings us joy and happiness, we can create and perfect the habitat, the world, the environment in which we live. This is what is really becoming an immediate need and an immediate question in modern times. It's not recognized by many, including many who have heard of spiritual traditions like Buddhism, which is popular yoga, and the Yoga Sutras, which are often interpreted as being kind of insensitive and not swayed by the senses, not attached to anything. And that's often misinterpreted and made into this idea that becoming insensitive and distant is good, and it goes right along with the idea that when we leave here, we go somewhere better, and or we come here just to work out our karma, which is not really respectful to the amazingness of this opportunity and the responsibility of life. Uh, if you're not attached to feelings, if you're not attached to any senses, any one thing, then you are clear, you are open, you can really be present. Yes, and being present does involve the senses. Yes, flowers can be amazingly smelly. What it also means is that dissonant sounds and chemical smells and anything really anti-life that doesn't really align with existence and beauty, it's even more also unpleasant and distressing. Traditions often say that it's good to be aloof to the unpleasantness, that people are always seeking pleasure and running from unpleasantness. It's a matter of discernment. It's a matter of being in the present moment and learning from experience. Because every experience, every smell, every thing created within nature, yes, there are also unpleasant smells in nature, but there are many things, oh so many things, that are so beautiful if one is ready to perceive that beauty and be present for that moment. Even just petting your cat and anything that's just really natural, one can be open to that when we're not attaching ourselves to one thing, separating ourselves into a million pieces. That's the beauty of the senses, the beauty of being sensitive. And why should it be a bad thing to be sensitive? It's the tool, it's the medium, it's the wisdom which only will get greater and larger, and only will get more acute and sharp in its ability to discern. This is the hope that the whole earth is waiting on within humanity. This is why souls are being born that are so sensitive, that are shrieking and acting out, because the whole earth is hoping and waiting and depending on this discernment in humanity, which is the only way for a real safe future to be born. One which, when all is in harmony again, when we reach a point when we are living one with nature or just in complete harmony with our natural environment, this will be stable in a way that it never was in the history of humankind, because people have reached a level of discernment.